billion in initial financial aid. Helene claimed at least 96 lives in the state. 26 people are still missing.
At least twice a year, or even 3 to 4 times a year, since the boost only lasts them about 3 months, especially older people living in nursing homes.
That's CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Downder. Coming up in 2 minutes after traffic and weather.
Michigan State University wants a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit from former football coach Mel Tucker. I'm Luke Sloan.
WWJ News Time, 12:38. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Ryan.
Tracy watching slow traffic on parts of I-94 and 696. This report sponsored by Phillips Sign and Lighting. On the AAA jam camps, we had one crash, but it's been cleared westbound 96 at Livernois. Westbound 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward. It's a double right lane closure here until 3. The southbound 75 ramp to westbound 94 also closed with this work. Westbound 696 seeing about a 20-minute delay now between M10 and 275. Of course, 2 lanes open for long-term work. Eastbound 96 stop and go between Wixom Road and Novi Road. Right lanes are closed through Friday. We'll see some ramp closures through here as well. And we've got some new work in Sterling Heights. North and southbound Shaner between 14 and 15 mile. A lane closure each way through late November. Your next update at 12:48 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
Cooler today despite plenty of sunshine. Highs right around 60. After clear skies early tonight, will turn out cloudy later. Low 44. Tomorrow, cloudy skies with a couple of showers into the early afternoon. We'll have a high of 61 and plenty of sunshine, but a high of 58 on Saturday. Sunshine with a high of 59 Sunday. Then sun and some clouds with a breezy afternoon for Monday. And the high on Monday, 63. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on WWJ News Radio 950.
Currently 52 in Novi. We have 54 sunny degrees in Livonia, 55 in Westland, and at Detroit Metro, it's a mainly sunny 54 right now.
At Phillips with Phillips Sign and Lighting, good signage is an important part of any business. Hey, if it bears repeating, it's a sign, you could use a sign. If your business has something to say, sign up today with Phillips Sign and Lighting. Visit phillipssign.com. That's phillipssign.com.
WWJ News Time, 1240. Michigan State University wants a federal judge to throw out a lawsuit against the school from ex-football coach Mel Tucker.
In the motion filed in U.S. District Court for the Western District of Michigan, the school calls Tucker's claim that he was wrongfully terminated, quote, a meritless breach of contract claim into an $80 million conspiracy. Tucker is suing the university for the $80 million left on his contract when he was fired last September for alleged sexual misconduct with advocate Brenda Tracy, who was contracted by the football team. Luke Sloan, WWJ News Radio 950.
An Eastern Michigan University professor has been suspended after he was taken into custody last month, part of a child predator sting operation led by Chris Hansen. The arrest was detailed in an episode of Take Down with Chris Hansen, when the professor was caught allegedly trying to meet up with a 15-year-old girl who was actually an officer in disguise. The sting happened in Huron Township. The professor is no longer in custody, but charges have been submitted. He's currently banned from the Ypsilanti campus and from contacting students. Hansen most famously hosted To Catch a Predator. A pit maneuver on a wrong-way driving suspect reportedly leads to a suspension of a Michigan State police trooper.
A Michigan State trooper has been suspended for 30 days because he improperly used a pit maneuver to stop a drunk driver. Now, this drunk driver was going on I-75 in Eureka Road, but the drunk driver started on I-96 and the Southfield Freeway. That's a long way to go. And she failed to stop for the police lights, and she was nearly missing cars going the wrong way. The trooper then decided to use the pit maneuver, which did stop her. When she got out of the car, she eventually blew a .19 on the breathalyzer. That's very drunk. Yet, the pit maneuver is not to be used in this situation, violating state police policy. The trooper, therefore, suspended. Oh, by the way, the suspect was arrested for OUIL. Charlie Langton, WWJ News Radio 950.
A woman is dead, allegedly run over by a car after an argument. According to investigators, this all took place about 2 a.m. this morning in the area of Connor and Hopper on Detroit's east side. 3 women allegedly got into an argument. 2 of them got into an SUV, apparently running over and killing the third. 1 arrest has been made. The investigation is ongoing. Coming up as the news continues in just over 2 minutes.
Where does Metro Detroit rank on the list of the best cities to celebrate Halloween? I'm Tony Ortiz.
As a mom of 3, I'm responsible for big decisions impacting my family. Last year, we needed to replace a few appliances. Imagine my surprise when I learned that some places are banning pay thousands more for our next vehicle. We need more energy and more choices, not fewer. Learn more at energycitizens.org.
Paid for by the American Petroleum Institute.
There's no shortage of exciting and sometimes tasty things happening in Michigan, from food and drink to everything in between. This is WWJ's Jonathan Carlson, inviting you to tune in Wednesdays for A Taste of Michigan. We'll do some taste tests and explore what else makes the Mitten a great place to live and play. A Taste of Michigan, Wednesdays on WWJ News Radio 950.
A Taste of Michigan is sponsored by Consumers Energy. Count on us.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, Joe?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. On them. Now drop that jingle.
24-month Curtis eligible trade-in Echo 5G Next well qualified customers with tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entirely before receiving 24 financing credit. Stock and balance are required finance agreement to or send if you pay up the price early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Download the Odyssey app and listen to WWJ News Radio 950 and all the news, sports, music, and podcasts that move you. Powered by the Golling Auto Group. Always there for you. That's the Golling difference. Breaking news now on WWJ.
And developing now, Oxford High is on a lockdown out of an abundance of caution. We trace the threat believed to be swatting to the Netherlands. Even so, we're making sure the school is searched and cleared. That is word from Sheriff Bouchard, who said, quote, every threat will be fully investigated, and we will always seek to hold the responsible accountable. We have even worked with partners in Europe to prosecute people in the past. Again, this is word from Sheriff Mike Bouchard. WWJ's Geraldine Horn will join us live with more at the top of the hour. Hundreds of police departments around the state are participating in the 27th annual Drug Take Back Day. On Saturday, you can clean out your medicine cabinets and take your unused prescription pills to a collection spot. DEA Detroit Special Agent in Charge, Orville Green, says this is an effort to get pills off the streets and reduce addiction.
According to a report published by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, a majority of people who misuse the prescription medication obtain the medicine from a family member or friend. So most of us generally just have medications hanging out in our medicine cabinets for years, even though we don't take them. And that is an opportunity for someone else to experiment.
In addition to the Detroit Health Department and all Detroit police precincts, other collection sites include Novi, Police, Berkeley, Public Safety, and Warren. This feels like a prank, but it's October, and it's not April Fool's Day. Goldfish Crackers announced that they are changing their name to Chilean Sea Bass. The company says the rebrand is to remind Gen Z and millennials who grew up eating goldfish that it's not just for kids, and they should start eating more of them as adults. The rebrand is for a limited time, so at some point they'll go back to being goldfish again. But for now, some marketing guy at Pepperidge Farm is hoping you'll be able to get into this new name. A rare typescript of a literary treasure could be yours for a very pretty penny.
A specialist London bookstore is selling an original typescript of the children's classic The Little Prince, complete with handwritten corrections by the French author. Sammy J. with Peter Harrington Rare Books on why the sale price of $1.25 million.
For any collecting around Saint-Exupéry and The Little Prince, this is the most considerable document that has ever been available for sale on the market for him.
The typescript also contains numerous drawings by the author, who disappeared during a flying mission over the Mediterranean in 1944 and never saw his book's worldwide success. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
WWJ News Time at 12:48. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Bryant.
Tracy, we've got a new problem in the 696 work zone. This report sponsored by the Stroke Centers of Henry Ford Health. On the AAA jam cams, and courtesy of a call from tipster Jackie, stone vehicle westbound 696 right at 275 in the work zone. It has the right lane blocked. You're slow from after M10. It's going to take an extra 15 to 20 minutes to make it through that stretch. Eastbound 96 from Wixon to Beck Road, you're slow with the right lanes now closed through Friday. Eastbound 696 at Losser. It looks like we have the patching crew back in the area. Earlier they had just the left lane open. Westbound 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward, 2 right lanes are closed until 3. Southbound 75 ramp to westbound 94 is closed as well. At Henry Ford Health, specially trained stroke experts provide the latest treatments for stroke. And for the 10th year in a row, Henry Ford Hospital has been recognized with the American Heart Association's top award for high-quality stroke care. Go to henryford.com/stopstroke to learn more. Your next update at 12:58 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
Now the AccuWeather forecast from the Bill Brown Ford Weather Center.
Cooler weather for today, despite plenty of sunshine. We'll have highs around 60. We'll start off clear tonight, but turn cloudy overnight with a low of 44. A couple of showers will be around tomorrow, at least into the early afternoon. Clouds will linger longer, though, with a high of 61. Mostly sunny with a high of 58 on Saturday. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare on WWJ News Radio 950.
Currently lots of sunshine across Metro Detroit, but it's in the 50s, 56 in Westland. In New Baltimore, the tip is holding at 52. And in downtown Detroit, it remains a mainly sunny 54. WWJ News Time at 12:49.
Ford celebrates 75 years of corporate giving. This is Jeff Gilbert with the Car Chronicles. Whether you call it the Ford Motor Company Fund or by its new name, Ford Philanthropy, over the past 3/4 of a century, the efforts have touched 3.5 million lives.
It's amazing to think that we're a global philanthropy, and we've invested over $2.4 billion in that time frame in community programming with a lot of great partners that we've worked with throughout the years.
Ford Philanthropy President Mary Culler says they take great care in deciding where they can best help.
People think that, philanthropy is easy, but actually, we do say no a lot, unfortunately, but at the same time, we do support so many wonderful causes, and it's because we do try to focus in 3 areas. We focus on essential services, we focus on the education for the future of work, and we focus on entrepreneurship.
Most recently, Ford Philanthropy helping out with recovery from hurricanes and flooding, along with their partners, the relief agency Team Rubicon. With the Car Chronicles, I'm Jeff Gilbert, WWJ Radio 950.
This hour of news is brought to you by Michigan Auto Law Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com.
That's autolaw.com. Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-293-5524. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-293-5524.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-293-5524. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-293-5524 or oxcarcare.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast-free quote today. Call 800-291-1305. That's 800-291-1305. 800-291-1305.
WWJ News Time 1253. Time for a look at sports. Here's Chris Millar.
Some warning of a classic trap game for the Lions this week, set to take on one-win Tennessee on Sunday. The division battle against the Packers coming up the next weekend. However, Captain Alex Anzalone says they're drawing on their own experience, remembering when they were 1-6 and how hungry they were and how hard they had to fight. The Titans will be without their number one wide receiver, as star DeAndre Hopkins was officially traded to the Chiefs, passing his physical and becoming a player for Kansas City this morning. Tonight, the Wings try for 3 straight wins as they'll host the Devils at the LCA, 6:45 pregame over on 97.1. And Thursday Night Football will be Vikings versus Rams. Minnesota could take back the NFC North lead with a win. With sports 23 and 53 past each hour, Chris Millar, WWJ News Radio 950.
Prescriptions required online consultation with a healthcare provider will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Get the news you need to know without increasing your screen time.
Add the free Odyssey app to your smart speaker or phone and listen to WWJ News Radio 950 anywhere.
Or online at WWJNewsRadio.com.
WWJ News Time 1255. Time for a look at your money. Here's Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini.
Well, I guess you could say things are kind of improving, at least a little bit. The Dow is now down only 191 points. The S&P 500 has flipped to positive. NASDAQ skyrocketing 107 points. Sales of newly built homes jumping to a more than one-year high. Prices still at record highs. Mortgage rates elevated, although a little improved. But incentives from builders, things like upgraded amenities and appliances on the cheap. Well, that gave sales of single-family homes a big boost. Blowout earnings report from Tesla. It posted a surprise profit. We've been talking about it all day. An upbeat outlook on EV sales. This is a shocker, and that stock is skyrocketing. It's up more than 19% right now, close to session highs. Big layoffs, though, at one of the nation's biggest toy makers, Hasbro. Maker Monopoly, Nerf, My Little Pony, and more is laying off dozens of employees, according to the Boston Globe, after lowering its sales forecast for next year. I'm Denise Pellegrini with the Bloomberg Business Report on WWJ News Radio 950.
Lottery numbers on WWJ. Last night's daily 3167. Last night's daily 41152. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. That's in 90 seconds.
Think Fink. Andrew Fink. Elect Andrew Fink to the Michigan Supreme Court. As a former Marine, Andrew Fink will defend constitutional freedoms and uphold private property rights. Think Fink. Andrew Fink. Andrew Fink's experience as a successful attorney and constitutional knowledge will strengthen our court. Andrew Fink will respect the law as written. Finish your ballot. Finish with Fink. Elect Andrew Fink to the Michigan Supreme Court. Paid for by Michigan Realtors with regulated funds not authorized by any candidate.
Have you been waiting a long time to get your MRI? And even if you've gotten your MRI, is your report still not available? Well, come on over to Basha Diagnostics, where most MRIs are scheduled within just a few days. At Basha, we are working around the clock to get you your report so your doctor can treat you sooner and better. So don't wait. Call Basha at 248-288-1600 to schedule your imaging today and explore BashaOpenMRI.com. Basha. Better service, better price.
Stuff happens. That's why AAA Roadside Assistance is AAA Lockout Assistance. In fact, last year, AAA helped 4 million members of Lockout and 450,000 lives. That's feeling deflated assistance. Join today at AAA.com. Offers, terms, conditions, and policies are subject to change without notice. Visit AAA.com/member for details.
WWJ News Time 1258. time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th and keeping an eye on the drive. Scott Ryan.
Tracy on the AAA jam cams. A stalled vehicle reported westbound 696 right near the ramp to 275. In that zone that has a right lane blocked or so from just after him, making it about 20 minutes delayed through that stretch. New crash westbound to meet with Davidson right after I-75 on the right shoulder. Eastbound 96 Wixon to Beck Road. Slow with the white lanes now closed through Friday. Some ramps could be closed off and on as well. Eastbound 696 at Rosser. It's a patching crew that leaves only the left lane open. On 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward, a double right lane closure until 3. And at Sterling Heights, new work today, north and southbound Shaner between 14 and 15 mile. Lane closure each way through late November. Your next update at 108 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
The AccuWeather forecast has a mix of sun and clouds as we make our way through a cooler afternoon. Certainly more sunshine than clouds right now. The high topping 60 for your Thursday. By tonight, we'll slide back to a clear and cold overnight low of 40. By tomorrow, the weekend's going to wrap up with a couple of passing showers and mainly cloudy. The high topping 61. Currently in Detroit and at Detroit Metro, it's still 54, and it's a sunny 53 right here at our studios in Southfield.
This is News Radio 950 WWJ, Detroit's news, weather, and traffic station.
Good afternoon, I'm Tracy Pimentel. Top stories ahead. Developing now, Oxford High School on lockdown out of an abundance of caution due to international swatting call. WWJ Cyril and Ford will join us live with the report. Also ahead, the Oakland County Sheriff issuing a warning about gangs targeting high-end homes. We'll have the latest. And this straight ahead,
Michigan State University wants a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit from former football coach Mel Tucker. I'm the phone.
News Radio 950 WWJ, WSYD, in Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Chafin. This weekend could be the next best chance to strike a ceasefire and hostage release deal in Gaza. CBS's Tammy McCormick.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, traveling through the region, said today Sinwar's death provides a new opportunity to bring the war in Gaza to an end.
What we really have to determine is whether Hamas is prepared to engage. And I believe that we will be able to do that starting in the coming days.
While it isn't clear who would represent Hamas, Israel said today it will send a delegation to Doha for the expected talks.
Israel's military chief said today there is a possibility for a sharp conclusion to the conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon. North Carolina lawmakers are considering a new aid package for storm victims in the state. Governor Roy Cooper requesting nearly $4 billion.
It is no exaggeration to describe Helene as the deadliest and most damaging storm ever to hit North Carolina.
CBS's Natalie Grant has the latest today on the campaign trail.
Former President Donald Trump returns to the western battleground states of Arizona and Nevada today. Harris did pick up the endorsement of another former Republican congressman, Michigan's Fred Upton.
I invite every single person across the country, Republican or Democrat, to stand up against the hate and chaos of Donald Trump.
The Harris campaign tells CBS News it believes around 10% of battleground state voters are still persuadable.
In a new memo, the White House outlines plans for the government to develop and use artificial intelligence to advance national security while at the same time managing risks. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
We need to take responsible steps to ensure fair competition in open markets, to protect privacy, human rights, civil liberties, to make sure that advanced AI systems are safe and trustworthy.
The Boeing strike goes on after a contract offer rejection. Machinist Union President John Holden knows his members want a pension plan back.
Some want that defined benefit pension, and I understand that fully. We haven't been able to achieve that, and I can't say that we will by staying out on strike.
CBS's Jared Hill is covering the excitement in New York City, a parade to honor the WNBA champion Liberty.
The new WNBA champions headed up Manhattan Canyon of Heroes.
So happy for the ladies finally bringing it home to New York.
Amid the floats, music, and celebrity sighting, there was a wave of inspiration.
It's the first time that New York has seen a basketball championship in, I believe, 51 years, and it's the women that brought it, and this team is like clutch.
Checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 180 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live and local. Detroit's #1 news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good afternoon, I'm Tracy McCusko. Our top story at 1:03, the Oakland County Sheriff's Department just confirmed that Oxford High School received a school threat. WWJ's Darylyn Horn joins us live with more. Darylyn?
Oxford High School has been placed on lockdown out of an abundance of caution after receiving a phony threat. Now, sheriffs say the threat was received around 11:45 this morning, and they believe it to be a bogus threat of violence. An unknown caller claimed that a person was in the school's bathroom with an AK-47 and a pipe bomb. Right now, sheriffs and deputies are searching the school. The sheriff's office believes the threat came from the Netherlands and that it was a form of swatting. Sheriff Mike Bouchard says the threat will be fully investigated and that the department has worked with partners in Europe to prosecute people in the past. Reporting live, Darylyn Horn, WWJ News Radio 950.
Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard also telling us that the county has been once again hit by transnational gangs targeting high-end homes. He says Oakland Township has been victimized by thieves from Chile in the last week.
We really have to rely on neighborhoods to up their vigilance, to report something if they see something. And our police partners, we created a Southeast Michigan task force with all of our local agencies in the state and feds to work together to share information so if one community gets hit, everyone else goes on alert and possibly might be able to catch these folks in process.
Bouchard saying the thieves targeted scheduled homes, secluded homes, back doors, windows, and homes where the owners may be on vacation. The city of Detroit is in preparation for winter by flushing and inspecting close to 30,000 fire hydrants. WWJ's John Hewitt joins us live. John?
Yeah, they do so every year, Tracy, come October. 29,910 for those. I'm a numbers guy, but those are the numbers if people are curious. And it's interesting because Gary Brown from the Detroit Water and Sewage Department says, in the end, less than 0.5% need attention when it comes to water hydrant repair. And it's not because of freezing, well, at least as far as rupturing, it's because of freezing roads and people sliding and driving into the hydrants a few times a night, sometimes in winter, according to Brown, that this can happen and becomes an issue. As far as involving Detroit firefighters, Gary Brown says they have a vested interest in making sure the infrastructure is working.
Their lives depend on this equipment working, these fire hydrants. They've taken an oath to protect and serve the citizens of the city of Detroit, and we want to make sure that they have the equipment that they need in order to do the job that's needed at the time.
And when crews do go to a scene and a fire hydrant is not operational, they have an app that they can immediately notify the Water and Sewage Department to effect repairs. Reporting live, John Hewitt, WWJ News Radio 950.
Michigan State University is asking a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit against the school from former football coach Mel Tucker.
The motion alleges Tucker's lawsuit that the university fired him too quickly is, quote, a meritless breach of contract claim into an $80 million conspiracy. That, of course, references the $80 million Tucker wants from MSU, money left on his contract after he claims the school wrongfully terminated him. Tucker was fired last September after alleged sexual misconduct with advocate Brenda Tracy. Luke Sloan, WWJ News Radio 950.
An Eastern Michigan University professor has been suspended after he was taken into custody last month, part of a child predator sting operation led by Chris Hansen. The arrest was detailed in an episode of Takedown with Chris Hansen, when the professor was caught allegedly trying to meet up with a 15-year-old girl who was actually an officer in disguise. The sting happened in Huron Township. The professor is no longer in custody, but charges have been submitted. He's currently banned from the Ypsilanti campus and from contacting students. Hansen most famously hosted To Catch a Predator. Michigan's governor is trying to ensure that races for the state house do not get lost in the presidential election. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is now barnstorming the state.
We're getting all across the state talking about the issues that matter to Michiganders. We know that our voices are going to be outsized in this election as they are in every presidential. This is going to be a close race. It's going to come down to a handful of states. And in the midst of all of that, we've got important, high-level, crucial legislative races, and that's why I'm here with these great legislative candidates.
The governor kicked off her tour in Rochester earlier this morning to highlight campaigns for 3 House candidates. The governor will be headed to Woodhaven this afternoon to campaign for candidates in that area. Coming up in 2 minutes after traffic and weather, the weekend is, or this weekend I should specify, is Prescription Drug Take Back Day. And we'll certainly have information on what you need to know. WWJ News Time 108. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And keeping an eye on the Thursday midday drive, it's Scott Ryan.
And Tracy, that includes a stolen vehicle in the 696 work zone. This report sponsored by Macomb Intermediate School District on the AAA jam cams. Looking at about a 20-minute delay here behind the stolen vehicle westbound 696, right near the 275 ramp in the work zone. Tipsters say it has the right lane blocked. You're slow from just after M10, north and southbound 75. A crash on that common ramp to westbound M8 to Davison. It's on the right shoulder. Eastbound 96 from Wixom to you're slow, and the right lanes are closed here through Friday. Some ramp closures possible, too. Eastbound 696 at Losser. Patching crew leaves only the left lane open. Westbound 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward. The two right lanes are closed until 3. Macomb Intermediate School District invites you to the Macomb Reads Reading Carnival, Saturday, November 2nd from 10 till 2. Come for free children's books, cider and donuts, games, famous authors, and illustrators. Register at misd.net/MacombRead. Your next update at 118 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
Today will be mostly sunny and cooler with a high of 60, then clear skies early tonight, giving way to clouds at a low of 44 later. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, a couple of showers around into the early afternoon, high 61, and mostly sunny with a high of 58 on Saturday. High of sunshine on Sunday, high 59, then sun and some clouds for Monday. A breezy afternoon, high 63. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on WWJ News Radio 950.
Currently watching mainly sunny conditions across Metro Detroit. We have 54 in Novi. Westland is now 56. Sterling Heights checks in at 54. And Lincoln Park, the temp is a sunny 55. And we still have 54 sunny degrees at Detroit Metro. WWJ News Time 110. As Detroit's big three automakers release their profits, Tesla posted a big number for the third quarter. Their $2.7 billion third quarter profit is up over 17% from a year ago. Those earnings reports come as lowers prices and offers low interest financing to try to achieve the CEO Elon Musk's goal of 30% sales growth. Now, if you have unwanted medications, you can get rid of them this weekend. Hundreds of police departments around Metro Detroit are going to be accepting any prescription drugs on Saturday during the DEA's 27th annual Drug Take Back Day. DEA Detroit Special Agent in Charge, Orville Green, talks about what's allowed and what's not.
Generally, we will not take syringes, sharps, and but those items should remain sealed in their original container, and this is just to avoid spillage.
And the city's east side, about 2 a.m. in the morning, it involved 3 women who were arguing. 2 of them got into an SUV and then ran down the third woman, the victim. Christopher Anderson, he works at the Citgo gas station, heard the screaming, and then went outside and saw a female on top of the victim.
I tried to do what I could do, yes, most definitely. And DPD, shout out to DPD because they arrived quickly. They sure did. They did, but it's a sad situation. Like I said, we lost another one of our black queens this morning.
The woman did pass away. Detroit police made at least one arrest. The reason for the argument is still subject to the investigation. On the city's east side, Charlie Langton, WWJ News Radio 950.
A Michigan State Police trooper has been suspended for using the pit maneuver when they were not supposed to. Investigators say this all happened when the trooper was chasing an alleged drunk driver driving the wrong way near I-75 in Eureka. Now, the trooper used the pit maneuver to stop that driver, but MSP policy says it should not be used in that situation. The trooper's suspension is for 30 days. The driver was arrested without incident. He had reached out to MSP for comment. Are you concerned about the state of America's roads, airports, and train stations? Well, you're not alone. Many of our roads, bridges, and airports are in dire need of repair. Tune in to WWJ tonight at 7 for a special one-hour program titled Crumbling America, the Infrastructure Crossroads. You'll hear from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who says along with roads and airports, high-speed rail should be implemented.
There are a lot of places that are a little too long to conveniently drive, but maybe a little too short for it to really make sense to fly. if we had the kind of passenger rail option we do, that third option would take some of the pressure off of congestion on our roads and comfort limited runways.
Buttigieg says there are thousands of projects underway now and planned for the coming years. Again, the special one-hour program, Crumbling America, the Infrastructure Crossroads, will air tonight at 7 right here on WWJ or on the free Odyssey app. Coming up as the news continues in 2 minutes.
With Halloween around the corner, what are the spookiest streets in Michigan? I'm Jonathan Carlson.
The NBA is back, and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to cash in on all the action. Because right now, FanDuel is giving all users 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA. League Pass allows me to keep an eye on some teams and storylines that I'm interested in. Can the new-look New York Knicks dethrone the Boston Celtics in the Atlantic Division? And is this the last chance for the Golden State Warriors to make a title run? Or is that window officially closed? Are you new to FanDuel? Just visit FanDuel.com/TonyO to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. You must be 21 and older and present in Michigan. After the 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. You can cancel anytime. There are no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for confidential help.
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2. Items this holiday from the Home Delivery for details.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use stages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
Even when you're not in the car, you can still take WWJ along for the ride.
Download the free Odyssey app and listen to WWJ wherever you take your phone.
You'll have Detroit's news, weather, and traffic right there in your pocket.
WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time 116. With Halloween right around the corner, what are the spookiest streets in Michigan?
Well, coming in at number 1 is Knock Knock Road, named Michigan's scariest according to survey of drivers. The Detroit Road, officially marked as Strasburg Road, runs between 8 Mile and East McNichols and emerged as the 60th most feared nationally, too. 3,000 drivers were polled on which roads they'd avoid after dark, those known for supernatural encounters and eerie sightings. Legend says on Knock Knock, you might come across a small girl on the side of the road, the apparent victim of a hit and run, who knocks on the car window looking for her assailant. Sorry, kid, but I'd step on the gas and keep driving. Jonathan Carlson, WWJ News Radio 950.
A fight chased through the streets of downtown Detroit after a man allegedly stole a tip jar from a restaurant. Michigan State Police say this all happened yesterday afternoon at the Jimmy John's near Campus Martius. Now, the man, with the tip jar in hand, took off on foot, running into the area of Michigan Avenue in Griswold, where a trooper jumped out of his patrol car and tackled this man to the ground. The man was turned over to Detroit Police. Michigan State Police will not pursue charges. In Inkster tonight, it's the Blessing of the Badge, an event where spiritual leaders come together to honor those who serve. Roosevelt Lawrence is chaplain of the Metro Detroit chapter of the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Executives. He spoke live with WWJ.
Just collectively coming together in fellowship because we're all committed at some point to the importance of justice in action. And we want to be able to collectively say thank you to all those men and women who serve.
The event will take place at Smith Chapel AME Church tonight from 6 until 8 p.m. To listen to the full interview, download the Odyssey app, follow WWJ, and rewind back to 11:30 this morning. WWJ News Time 118. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Ryan.
Tracy, we picked up a pair of new problems, including a crash in the I-96 work zone. This report sponsored by Thornton and Grooms. On the AAA jam cam, still a disabled vehicle reported westbound 696 at 275 in the work zone. It has the right lane blocked. You're slow from after M10. Now eastbound 96 at Wixom Road. In the work zone, there is a crash that has the left lane blocked. North and southbound 75, a crash on that ramp to westbound N8 to Davison, over on the right shoulder. And now a crash in Macomb County, eastbound 94 after Little Mac. Vehicles over on that far right side. Now it's time for the NECA IBEW Local 58 construction alert update. Eastbound 696 at Losser. We've got a patching crew reported in the area. Just a left lane open. You're slow from southbound M10 and westbound 94 remain slow from Mount Elliott to Woodward. The 2 right lanes are closed until 3. Your next update at 1:28 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
And now the AccuWeather forecast from the Bill Brown Ford Weather Center.
Mostly sunny today. It'll be a cooler day with a high of 60. After a clear evening, will turn out cloudy overnight. Low tonight 44. Cloudy tomorrow with a couple of showers into the early afternoon. We'll have a high of 61. Mostly sunny with a high of 58 on Saturday. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare on WWJ News Radio 950.
Currently 55 now in downtown Detroit under mainly sunny skies.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. You watch each and every hair fall. That's why Thornton & Grooms offers fast, same-day drain service for only $99, giving you peace of mind and the comfort of knowing we'll be there if things get hairy. Trusted, guaranteed. Thornton & Grooms. Schedule your service today.
WWJ News Time 119. District Court Judge Kenneth King claims he has immunity from a federal lawsuit brought by a teen whom he had detained and threatened with jail time for sleeping in his courtroom.
It happened while the teen was there as part of a school field trip. In a motion filed Monday to dismiss the case, King's lawyers argued the judge was acting in a judicial capacity at the time of the interaction and therefore is entitled to immunity. The incident drew national attention and resulted in King being compelled to take sensitivity training before returning to the bench. His former criminal court docket replaced with a reassignment to traffic court. Kyle Kimball, WWJ News Radio 950.
Coming up in just over 2 minutes, we'll head over to the sports desk. WWJ News Time 120.
Odyssey Detroit and Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust Pizza congratulate our Detroit baseball team on their playoff berth and much continued success through the postseason and into 2025. We're proud and glad to hear Detroit roaring again on the field.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-625-7677. 800-625-7677. 800-625-7677.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Health reports on WWJ, sponsored by Delta Dental.
WWJ News Time, 1:23. Time for Look at Sports. Here's Chris Villar.
We're now just 2 days away from the big rivalry game, Michigan versus Michigan State, for the 117th time. Kenneth Grant of the Wolverines had this to say about their goals for the game.
Just go out there and be violent, and it's a rivalry, so we gotta come and take their souls.
And Michigan's still going through their practices to determine if the starting quarterback will be Tuttle, Orji, Warren, or maybe even Jaden Davis. Whether the Lions are still in first place in the NFC North tomorrow, that's going to depend on what happens on Thursday Night Football. The Vikings will head to Cali to face the Rams to begin the week. A win would put Minnesota a half game ahead of Detroit in the standings. And a Tigers prospect will be a part of the World Series festivities beginning tomorrow. It is Yankees-Dodgers, but Max Clark will be a correspondent for the series on Instagram. The top Detroit prospect will conduct interviews and give behind-the-scenes looks at the series. With sports, 23 and 53 past each hour, Chris Villar, WWJ News Radio 950.
The press called it a corporate welfare scheme that, quote, gives away taxpayer money while preventing transparency. But then it blew up. Alyssa Slotkin got busted signing a deal to have secret discussions about a foreign electric vehicle company. Slotkin also helped funnel hundreds of millions in taxpayer subsidies to multiple foreign EV businesses. And what did they do? They took the money, then turned around and laid off thousands of Michigan workers. So what was in it for Alyssa Slotkin? Well, Slotkin was showered with campaign contributions from foreign EV company agents. If that's not sleazy enough, Slotkin helped these foreign firms even more by voting to let states ban gasoline-powered vehicles made here in Michigan. Alyssa Slotkin got paid off. Michigan workers got laid off. And that's why she's bad news for Michigan. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Trick or treat. Halloween is around the corner. Let's not use wishful thinking when it comes to safety. Beware and take care. Don't drink and drive. From your spooky friends at Odyssey and Michigan Auto Law Auto Accident Attorneys. WWJ News Time, 1:25. Time for a check on your money. Here's Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini.
Well, here's a weird one for you from the auto industry. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford Motor, is now admitting he's been driving a Chinese EV for the past 6 months. A $30,000 Speed Ultra 7 made by Chinese electronics giant Xiaomi. Now, that car is only available in China. Farley says he doesn't want to give it up. He spoke on a British podcast. Shares of EV maker Tesla spending much of today wildly higher. That's after a blowout earnings report. And also on the earnings front, UPS posting stronger than forecast results for last quarter. Profits higher for the first time in 2 years. Patients taking the weight loss drug Ozempic found to be at a significantly reduced risk of being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That's according to new research in the journal Alzheimer's and Dementia. And Google is out with its list of the most popular Halloween costumes for the year. Among the new potential bestsellers that Australian Olympic breakdancer Reagan, singer Sabrina Carpenter, and Chipotle's burrito costume. I'm Denise Pellegrini with Bloomberg Business Report, WWJ News Radio 950.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s in 2 minutes.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's a free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, Use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
When you see trouble on the roads, call the AAA Traffic Tipster Line, 248-423-6WWJ.
WWJ News Time, 1:28. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Ryan.
Tracy on the AAA jam cams. An updated crash eastbound 94 after Little Mac now has the right lane blocked, so seeing a bit of a slowdown there. A crash on the north and southbound 75 ramp to westbound M8 at Davison on the right shoulder. Stalled vehicles still here along westbound 696 at 275. In that work zone, right lane is blocked according to tipsters. We've got slowdowns from Orchard Lake Road. An update eastbound 96 at Wixom Road. A crash in this work zone has been moved over to the right shoulder. Still slow, though, from Old Plank. Meantime, eastbound 696 at Losser. Patching crew leaves only the left lane open. We've got backups from American Drive and slow westbound 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward. The 2 right lanes are closed. The westbound 96 exit ramp to Grand River and Howell closed through late October. Your Cordell and Cordell alternate is to use the Latson ramp instead. Next update at 1:38 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
The AccuWeather forecast has a mostly sunny and cooler afternoon on tap. Our high topping 60 by tonight. Clear early, then becoming cloudy as we head closer to daybreak. The overnight low of 44 makes way for a cloudy wrap to the week tomorrow, with a couple of showers making the way through, especially through early afternoon. The Friday high 61. Currently at Detroit Metro, a sunny 56, and it's 55 in downtown Detroit. The top news stories in 1 minute.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
Live and local. Detroit's #1 news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good afternoon. I'm Tracy McCuskell. Our top story at 1:30. Oxford High School is on lockdown right now because of a swatting call from Europe. WWJ's Darylyn Horn joins us live with the very latest. Darylyn?
Good afternoon, Tracy. So we just learned about 2 seconds ago that kids are being let out early after a swatting call from Europe. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office is calling this a bogus threat of violence. They say around 11:45 this morning, the school was placed on lockdown out of an abundance of caution after receiving a call from the Netherlands. They say the unknown caller claimed that someone was in the bathroom with an AK-47 threatening to shoot people and detonate a pipe bomb. Sheriff Mike Bouchard says that they are investigating the threat and that they've worked with authorities in the past to prosecute people who make these kinds of threats. Once again, kids are being let out early right now as we speak. Reporting live, Darylyn Horn, WWJ News Radio 950.
All right, Darylyn, thank you. And Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard also indicating that there are high-end burglaries carried out by transnational gangs, and they've returned to the county. He says Oakland Township was targeted in the last week by a group from Chile.
Very much the same pattern, method, coming in through a dark backyard, patterning the movement of the homeowners, quickly going for high-end jewelry. Actually, they hit a home that's already been hit once.
Bouchard saying that catching transnational gangs is difficult because they move quickly and have no local ties. Winter is just around the corner, and the city of Detroit is getting ready by flushing and inspecting nearly 30,000 fire hydrants. WWJ's John Hewitt joins us live with an update. Hi, John.
Hello, Tracy. Just like you may do with your sprinkler system at home, Detroit firefighters have begun that hydrant maintenance process like they do every October, pressurizing the water out of nearly, as Tracy mentioned, 30,000 hydrants, 29,910 to be precise, which we were told will take about a month or so. Gary Brown is director of Detroit's Water and Sewerage Department.
We have hydrants that have been in the ground for 60 years. They're functioning fine as long as they're well maintained. And the maintenance that needs to be done is in the wintertime. You can't leave water after you fight a fire. You have to drain the hydrant down, and the firemen do an excellent job of doing that.
Brown saying the hydrant failure rate across Detroit is about 0.5% every winter, or roughly 150 hydrants with issues over the season. Many of those, though, due to drivers hitting them because of icy roads and winter conditions. Reporting live, John Hewitt, WWJ News Radio 950.
All right, John, thank you. WWJ News Time 1:34. With much of this election season focused on the race for the White House, Governor Whitmer is telling voters not to forget about other races.
Governor Whitmer kicked off what she calls a weekend barnstorm, supporting state house candidates to highlight work to lower costs and support small businesses.
You know, as important as the presidential is, these races matter as well. In some ways, when something is hitting you at home, your first call could be to a legislative office holder.
Whitmer's first stop was in Rochester in support of Shadia Martini, Travis Harold, and Aisha Faruqi, Democratic candidates for House District 54, 55, and 57, respectively. Mike Campbell, WWJ News Radio 950.
2 weeks, give or take, until the election. A focus for many, if not most, will continue to be the economy and inflation. To which Michigan Democratic Senator Gary Peters says, your choice matters.
So, for example, we were, as Democrats, we were able to lower the price of prescription drugs for seniors. A cap on insulin, for example, at $35 is the maximum that a senior will pay. And, you know, that's legislation that pushed back on the drug companies. Every Democrat voted to reduce drug prices, and Republicans did not. They stood with the drug companies. So there are choices that are made. There are policies that you can make, and clearly elections matter. If you wanted lower drug prices, you'd support Democrats, and if you wanted to support the drug companies, you'd vote for Republicans.
Peters says he knows those in his party facing election challenges are mostly, again, if not all, in tight races, but he likes where the Democratic Party is right now. Ask a Republican, and you're likely to hear a similar assessment. An Israeli strike on a school where displaced people were sheltering in the central Gaza Strip killed at least 17 people on Thursday. This according to Palestinian medical officials. Nearly all those killed were women and children. The Israeli military says it targeted Hamas militants inside the school. Israel has carried out several strikes on schools turned shelters in recent months, saying they are targeting militants hiding among civilians. Pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside the White House today to decry civilian casualties in Gaza.
This was a small protest, but it created a big disruption with its simulated sounds of Israeli attacks in Gaza. These Palestinian Americans were there.
We cannot sit idle by and just watch this happen. I don't think we know how to live in our skin without being out here.
They carried signs that read, "This Halloween, the horror is Israel," and "We all bleed the same color." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden administration is out with new national security memorandums on artificial intelligence. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the goal is to further advance American ingenuity in AI while it adjusts to ever-changing intelligence challenges.
We need to take responsible steps to ensure fair competition in open markets, to protect privacy, human rights, civil liberties, to make sure that advanced AI systems are safe and trustworthy.
Speaking at the National Defense University, Sullivan said the policy sets up an AI Safety Institute and mandates safeguards, incorporates American values, and it's both speedy and nimble. The United States and NATO say they have confirmation that North Korean troops are in Russia training with Russian forces, sparking concern that they might be sent to fight in Ukraine.
The fear is North Korea wants Russia to help modernize its outdated weapon systems, including its nuclear missiles. Kim just this month warned he would not, quote, hesitate to use.
That's CBS correspondent MTS Tayez reporting. Coming up as the news continues, in just about 2 minutes after traffic and weather, a hotel with a creative idea to keep people calm on election night. WWJ News Time 138. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Ryan.
Tracy, we've got a crash over on I-94 along the east side of town. This report sponsored by Open Take Back event on the AAA Jam Cams eastbound 94. After Little Mac, we have a crash that blocks the right lane. The crash on the north and southbound 75 ramp to westbound M8 to Davison over on the right side of that ramp. Stalled vehicles still causing some delays. Westbound 696 at 275 in the work zone. Tipster's had it in the right lane. You're slow from Orchard Lake Road. Eastbound 96 at Wixom Road. This crash in a work zone is now on the right shoulder, but you're stop and go from Old Plank. Eastbound 696 at Lasser. Patching crew in the area. Only the left lane open. Delays continue from American Drive. Westbound 94 from Mount Elliott to Woodward. 2 right lanes are closed until 3. And new work in Sterling Heights, north and southbound Shaner between 14 and 15 Mile. We've got lane closures there through late November. Safely dispose of unused medications Saturday, October 26th. It's safe and easy with drive-through and drop-off service available at many locations. Visit michigan-open.org today to find an Open Take Back event nearby. Your next update at 1:48 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
Cooler today despite plenty of sunshine. Highs right around 60. After clear skies early tonight, will turn out cloudy later, low 44. Tomorrow, cloudy skies with a couple of showers into the early afternoon. We'll have a high of 61. Then plenty of sunshine, but a high of 58 on Saturday. Sunshine with a high of 59 Sunday. Then sun and some clouds with a breezy afternoon for Monday. The high on Monday, 63. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on WWJ News Radio 950.
Currently 56 degrees and sunny at Detroit Metro. WWJ News Time 139. 2 former Republican members from Michigan say they will not be for president.
Former GOP Congressman Fred Upton says he has never voted for a Democrat for president until now.
Time and time again, he's shown that he's completely unfit to serve as commander-in-chief. So today, I'm joining more than 30 former Republican members of Congress who publicly refused to support Donald Trump, and I'm proud to say that I've already cast my ballot for Kamala Harris.
Former Michigan Congressman Dave Trott joined with his colleague Fred Upton in supporting Harris.
I'm proud to be one of many Republicans who are raising our voices and supporting the only candidate who will fight for the American people. I urge every Michigan voter, Democrat, Republican, and independents alike to do the same.
Trott and Upton say Harris will help bring people together and restore our economy. Greg Bowman, WWJ News Radio 950.
And we are less than 2 weeks away from Election Day, of course, and the candidates are going all out to win the key battleground state of Michigan. Former President Trump will be in northern Michigan on Friday, making his first campaign stop in Traverse City at Capitol Airport. GOP Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance in Oakland County today, making an appearance in Waterford. Meantime, Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris will join former First Lady Michelle Obama on Saturday for a major Get Out the Vote rally in Kalamazoo. And of course, early voting starts statewide here in Michigan on Saturday. Feeling anxious about the upcoming election?
Aloft Hotels is hosting Not Watch Parties. Not parties, but P-A-W-T-I-E-S. Because they'll be filled with puppies to help you de-stress waiting to find out who will be our next president. Local shelters will be bringing the puppies in to 5 of their hotel locations in Atlanta, Orlando, Austin, Milwaukee, and New York. Cuddling, petting, and playing with dogs has been scientifically proven to help humans' stress levels go down. The parties are totally free, so you can just show up to lower those cortisol levels. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
WWJ News Time, 1:42.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Scientist Henry O'Connell and his team have developed the Canary Speech app, which uses small samples of a user's voice to detect levels of anxiety and depression. And he explains why it's especially important for veterans to have a quality tool to assist their mental health.
I know if I'm not sleeping well, or if I'm not getting my walk in, or I'm not listening to the music that helps me balance my life, my anxiety and my depression levels get out of whack. My health and my life are important. They should be my priority. That's what helps me be a good spouse, a good husband, or a good wife, or a good father. If I give time to that, it's not selfish.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Coming up as the news continues in just about 2 minutes here.
I'm Tony Ortiz. After a big win in Week 7 over the Minnesota Vikings, the Lions are once again being embraced by Vegas odds makers.
Real quick, raise your hand if you want to lose an additional 4 bands a year. Go ahead and put your hands up. Put your hands up. You voted for Kamala Harris. Oh, okay, my fault. Good, because I don't think people understand that voting for Trump means you will lose an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. If Trump is elected, he plans to add a 60% tariff on all imports from China. Anything in your house that says made in China, take the price that you paid for and add 60%. He plans to add a 20% tariff on all imports coming from every other country. With Kamala Harris's opportunity economy, she's not hitting you with the sales tax of doom. She's providing tax cuts to the middle and working class, so that means you will save an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Plus the $25,000 she's literally handing to new home buyers like you know who to vote for in this November's election. It's Kamala Harris. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top and after our cutting-edge e-bike, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Download the Odyssey app and listen to WWJ News Radio 950 and all the news, sports, music, and podcasts that move you. Powered by the Golling Auto Group. Always there for you. That's the Golling difference.
WWJ News Time 146. Our top story this afternoon. Students at Oxford High School had been released early today after a bogus threat was reported. Now, the school went into lockdown just before noon after someone called and claimed there was a person in a bathroom with an AK-47 type automatic rifle and a pipe bomb and was threatening to shoot everyone and detonate that bomb. The Oakland County Sheriff's Department searched and cleared the building and determined there was no threat. Only students at Oxford High School were sent home early. Michigan State University is asking a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit against the school from former football coach Mel Tucker. The motion alleges Tucker's lawsuit that the university fired him too quickly is, quote, meritless breach of contract claim and to an $80 million conspiracy, end quote. That references the $80 million Tucker wants from the university, money left on his contract after he claims the school wrongfully terminated him. Tucker was fired last September after alleged sexual misconduct with advocate Brenda Tracy. After a big win in week number 7 over the Minnesota Vikings, the Lions are once again being embraced by Vegas odds makers.
In fact, those odds makers now have the Lions listed as the favorite to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 59 next February as they move past the San Francisco 49ers in this week's listings. Detroit is now a 7.5 to 1 favorite to play in the Super Bowl. The 49ers are now listed at 8.5 to 1 odds. Odds makers believe that the Lions would face either Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are on the board at 4 to 1 odds, or Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who are currently on the board at 5.5 to 1 odds. Meanwhile, support for quarterback Jared Goff continues to grow as he trails only Jackson, Mahomes, and Buffalo's Josh Allen in the latest odds for which of those quarterbacks will be named as the NFL's most valuable player. The Lions' Brian Branch, who has 4 interceptions this season, is also now being listed at 45 to 1 odds to win the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award. Tony Ortiz, WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time 1:48. Time for a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Ryan.
Tracy, one of our crashes just now clearing out of the way in a work zone. This report sponsored by CRG Electric. Looking at the AAA jam cams, the good news atop the list now. Eastbound 96 at Wixom Road. That crash in the work zone has cleared out of the way. Now keep in mind you'll still see some delays here because the right lanes are closed through Friday. Stalled vehicles still an issue. Westbound 696 near 275 in the work zone. Tipster said it was blocking the right lane. Back up still from Orchard Lake Road. Eastbound 94 after Little Mac, a crash in the right lane, and still a crash on the I-75 common ramp to westbound M8 to Davison over on the right side. Tipster just let us know that eastbound 696 after Losser, we have this moving work crew that has just the left lane open. Took him 20 minutes to go from about American Drive to Losser, so that's the delay behind that problem. Westbound 94, Mount Elliott to Woodward, double right lane closure until 3. And in West Bloomfield, east and westbound Walnut Lake near Halstead, we've got some lane closures there for work this afternoon. Michigan weather changes quickly. Are you ready? Let Kohler give you peace of mind. Kohler generators come on automatically within seconds of an outage. Call CRG Electric today at 734-757